Okay, so I want to walk you through something that I feel is very profound, yet very simple. But I also feel that a lot of agents kind of make very light of it. What I want to talk to you about is the three-way text. The three-way text introduction. First of all, what is it? I personally feel it's the number one way to connect good people with good people. Okay. You have a client that calls you and says, "Hey, Tulio, who's your plumber? Who's your electrician? Who's your roofer? Who's someone you trust that can paint our house inside out?" Whatever. Okay. The best way to do that connection, in my opinion, is via the three-way text, where you actually connect them and introduce one person to the other person, and they're all on one text together. That way, you know that they are connected. Why must we teach the three-way text? As I said at the very beginning, I think that we make too light of it. We'll just say, oh, yeah, do a three-way text. And people don't always know exactly what to say in their three-way text. Some of them will even think that it's maybe a little intrusive or whatnot. But when you demonstrate that you do the three-way text introduction, like connecting them with a plumber, connecting them with an electrician, they get to see that it works. Okay. So use it with your clients. Be an example of using the three-way text. Who to use it with? I use it with everybody, in all honesty. I connect realtors to realtors. I have agents all the time who call me up saying, "Hey, who's your favorite referral partner in this city?" I connect clients with service providers. I connect people with doctors, attorneys, lawyers, whoever it is, with the three-way text. So it works best, obviously, when it's people you know with people you know. Okay, because you're trying to connect good people with good people, not just randoms. When to use it? I find the best time to use this is after a one-on-one conversation, a lunch meeting, a breakfast meeting, a positive moment in a transaction, anytime that things are going well and with people who know you, like you, and trust you. Okay, so how does this sound? So I put together some language here, and it's really revolves around milestones in life. So if I were out to lunch with a client, and I literally did this with a friend of mine named Josh, we had a great lunch, and during that time, I made sure that I asked a lot about him. Okay, that's a very key part to this. You can't make this a very one-sided thing where all it is about you asking for business. Asked him about his life, asked him about his work, asked him about his projects, what's going on at his house, what's the next thing they would like to improve. Could I make an introduction to him? Okay. And a great way to transition into this is to remind your client actually about when you introduced them to a landscaper, to a stucco repair person, and remind them of how you did it. Do you remember when I introduced you to Mario, my stucco guy? And do you remember how I introduced you with that three-way text? Well, that's what I want to chat with you a little bit about. Who do you know that's going through a milestone in life? And what I mean by this is like a couple having a baby, a couple getting married, a couple that now maybe have a blended family and they've got like five kids and might need more space. Someone going through a job transfer or a military move, a PCS, maybe a family or a couple that's now downsizing. They don't need as much space because they're empty nesters. Maybe someone with an elder parent that needs to move into assisted living. Maybe someone going through probate. Maybe they're inheriting some property and they're going through that phase and they're going to have to sell that property or do something with it. Or maybe even a couple that are separating that you can connect me with because you trust me. You see, what by asking, first of all, that question and getting very specific. Now, that was a pretty long list. And depending on the person you're with, you may or may not cover all of those things. Sometimes when I ask the question, I'll just ask one of those. Who do you know that's now is, developing, having a blended family, and they went from having two children to five now under one roof. And that happens quite a bit these days. But any one of these could be just the one thing you ask with the person that you're with. Maybe that's just at the end of a care call. All right. Now, after you've asked that question, go ahead and go to the next one. Anticipate this answer. Gosh, I can't think of anybody right now. I can't think of anyone right now. That's likely what you're going to hear, and that's okay. So here's your answer. I completely understand. But because we had this conversation, when you do come across or when you cross paths with anyone going through a milestone in life, you'll think of me. And when you do, would you be open-minded to connecting us? Okay, so there's your ask. I completely understand. But because we had this conversation, that's a very important line to use. That is a deep reinforcing phrase. Because we had this conversation, when you do cross paths with anyone going through a milestone in life, you'll think of me. You're giving them an embedded command there. You'll think of me. And when you do, would you be open-minded to connecting us? And I say, thank you. Here, I just texted you this language to store in the notes section of your phone. In fact, I titled it for you, How to Refer to Tulio. That way, when they do have a situation where they can make the connection, they can just look in their phone and see how to refer to Tulio. And then they can copy and paste it. Hi, David. Meet Tulio Pena. Tulio is our friend and realtor in Colorado Springs. He'll take great care of you. Tulio, meet David. David will need your assistance with buying or selling their next home. I'll let you both take it from here. Then I transition into this phrase. You see, when you connect your friend with me using the three-way text, you'll know that we're truly connected and they'll get the quality service we provided to your family. And your friend won't end up getting some random agent from some website. You can actually just copy and paste it into the three-way text. You don't even have to think about it. See, what I'm doing there is I'm making it easy for the client or your past client to refer their friends. I've just learned that people need to be taught how to refer. All right. If you just say do a three-way text, you're not really teaching them. And by giving them the language for them to copy and paste into the actual three-way text, they now know exactly what to do. That's called setting an expectation. Okay, so that's that you're guiding them through the process. You're giving them a system essentially of how to connect their friend with you. And one more thing before I let you go. That's a wonderful phrase. Oh, one more thing before I let you go. A lot of our clients don't know this, but we provide a service of vetting and interviewing and introducing buyers, sellers, and investors to outstanding agents throughout the US, Canada, and beyond. So, who do you know that may need real estate assistance outside of Colorado Springs? Okay, with this question, we're letting them know that our service goes beyond just working here. Okay, I know that sometimes we're like, ugh, this person, bought elsewhere. They moved away. They didn't even know that I could connect them with their next agent, or they had no clue that their brother, their sister, their aunt, their uncle that are moving anywhere in the nation, could end up with a bad agent. But if they call us, they'll likely end up with a really good agent. So that's another one that you can ask. And they may say, I don't have anyone right now. I can't think of anyone right now. I completely understand because we had this conversation. When something like that happens, would you be open-minded to connecting us using the three-way text I just taught you? Okay, that's part of our service. Okay. When you receive a three-way text introduction, make a big deal about it because it's a big deal. Call your client, thank them for doing the referral, first of all. If you don't get them when you call them, send them a text. In fact, send them a video text and show you. Don't just be like, thank you for connecting me with your friend. No, thank you so much for connecting your friend with me. It really means a lot that you put trust in me and that you did it. And, I really wanted to say that you executed the three-way text flawlessly. The fact that you did the three-way text exactly the way I taught it to you, it means the world to me. You see what I'm doing there? I'm making a big deal about the introduction, but even a bigger deal that they did it via the three-way text. And then I have send them a gift. Okay. Send them gourmet brownies, send them a gift card, send them a Starbucks, send them anything to reinforce the action that they did. Because that is when you celebrate the moment with them. Okay. Don't send it when you've closed in 2 months. Send it then, and they will send you more people. Lastly, remind your clients about the three-way text introduction. This isn't something that you can just do once. At the end of pretty much every conversation, as long as it's a positive conversation, use good judgment there. At the end of a coffee, at the end of a lunch, make sure to bring it up and reinforce it. Whenever something positive happens, when they thank you for a referral. Thank you so much, Tulio, for connecting us with Caleb to do our fence. That'd be a good time to transition in to ask for some business and to remind them about how you want the referrals made. After a closing is usually a joyful moment. At the end of your videos that you produce, that you put on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, remind people to connect you by a three-way text. At the end of our client appreciation movie nights that my team does, we always have a scavenger hunt through the movie. It's a trivia thing. It's like a trivia game where people have to find things in the movies. So, and then I always make the last question I ask. I also do this at client appreciation events that are live and in person. We do like Colorado Springs trivia. And the last question is always, what's the best way to connect one of your friends, relatives, coworkers, someone from your church with an agent on the Pena team? And it's multiple choice. And the answers are the three-way text, the three-way text, the three-way text, or all of the above. And it reinforces. People literally after that event use the three-way text because we just reminded them again. So client appreciation events are great. And here's just a little tip. I gave you a lot of information in a fairly short video here, but making smooth transitions. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. Who do you know? I would be remiss if I didn't ask. And I want you to know, I'm never too busy to help people like you. So who do you know? Okay. Sometimes we struggle with how do I go from having breakfast, lunch, dinner, hanging out, having a care call with the ask? I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. I would be remiss if I didn't ask. And I want you to know I'm never too busy to help people like you. So who do you know? That's what I wanted to share with you today. You could see how there's a lot more to the three-way text than just introduce me by the three-way text. Okay. Embrace this. It's an incredible tool. When you receive that three-way text, you're going to feel like a proud parent with a kid who just did amazing at a sport or on a test or got into medical school or something. It really feels incredible when your clients follow through and do something like refer to you via the system that you taught them. All right. Hopefully that helps you. I'll see you all soon. Take care.